Welcome everyone, I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is a very short intro screen. This is Crystalis, made by SNK, a very old action RPG Nintendo game. And yet another game that people that made Evo Land didn't really know existed apparently. Anyway, let's go ahead and play it, as soon as I remember how to play it. There we go. 100 years have passed. Most of the Earth has become dominated by mutated creatures. People worked together to rebuild their villages and their lives, but they still lived in fear. As they feared the rebirth of evil, they remembered the construction of the tower and of its consequences once activation had begun. Once evil emerged, would they still stand a chance? There was still one hope. Program 0256, functional, system 1... Wow, that's really fast. Alright, I can put in any name I want. Now, I played this game when I was a kid, back when I actually had a Nintendo. I cannot... Since back in those days, there were actually, sometimes cheat codes and stuff you can do to kind of skip ahead of stuff. I don't really remember if I actually beat this game legit. I do recall beating it, but I don't remember if I did it legit. I also didn't really know what was really going on in the game because I was a dumb little kid that didn't really know what was going on. I also found the game rather difficult back then, but I think that was more out of stupidity than anything else. As I mentioned before, this is an action RPG. There is some leveling up, there's gear, and there's all sorts of other good stuff, which will probably eventually annoy me and remind me why I had trouble with the game. Anyway, we'll go with the usual name. I apologize if the sound's a little off, I'm still kind of adjusting it. And, okay, for those who are not keeping up, I actually didn't really know what the story of the game was when I played it, but reading off that, apparently evil showed up, the original people fled to some floating tower, which didn't really do anything, and the people that are still left on the planet are stuck dealing with all the monsters. Okay, let's do it. And here we are. This is us. It always looked like whenever I was facing this direction, and because currently I have no armor equipped, it looks like I have a beard, but it's actually just a black shirt. Anyway, so we're this purple-haired hero, and you can see we have a life bar, we have a force meter, which we'll go into later, we have an XP bar, it actually tells you how much XP you need to get to the next level, we have a level, we have money, and we have MP. Pretty standard RPG stuff, let's do it. Hey, there's a guy coming out of the cave! So we just came out of this thing, which we have no clue what it is. This is the village of Leaf. Really? There are great dangers outside of town, please be careful. Are you serious? Is this place named after me? The wind here is always cold, but we're used to it. Oh, it's you. I'm sorry I ran from you when we first met. Zebu says he is having a hard time with the Windmill guard. He's always sleeping. So that's probably our first quest, but more into that in a second. Yeah, we already talked to you. Did you visit the Elder's house yet? That's probably a hint of what we're probably supposed to be doing. I'm pretty sure this is the Elder's house. I'm gonna talk to you first. There's an old windmill to the north, but I have never seen it working. I'm the villager Elder. You awoke from inside the cave, didn't you? We were told you would arrive. You are our last hope to defeat evil. Receive this sword to protect you on your quest. This and others like it will guide you. You now have the Sword of Wind. So, okay, that's our menu. You have our attack. There's really only attack and defense stats. Not a big deal. Okay, select gets into this menu, which has your magic, all your items, your power, shield, armor, and sword. Power is just bracelets, which we'll go into later. I'm gonna go ahead and equip our Sword of the Wind. And there you go. So we have this thing we can stab with. And you can see that the longer I hold down the button, the more force I build up. And if I fill it all the way up to level 1 here, you get this little aura around you, which will carry over between screens, and you can release it to fire a bolt of wind. Hey, who are you? Q. Okay. Apparently he doesn't have anything to say. And let's go talk to whoever's in here. You have finally awoken. This money is from the wise man Zebu. It's yours. Kinda odd that he gave it to me and not Zebu. So I got $100. So we can now actually go into the store here. Yes, we wish to buy stuff. Essentially we can go ahead and buy ourselves some armor. And that's pretty much it. Anything else? No. There's also an item shop. Which has a bunch of things like this alarm flute, which we actually kind of need. You can't really cancel out of the shop, you have to actually pick something, and then whether you can afford it or not decides when you can exit. That or I'm just pressing the wrong buttons, which is kind of hard when there's only a few buttons to pick from. So now you can see we're actually wearing armor now, though that's pretty much the only freaking change to our sprite that's going to happen besides getting a shield. So, now we can go outside. Trees block your way. Grass doesn't really do anything. And here's some enemies. You cannot build up energy while moving. You also don't slash until after you release the button, so keep that in mind when you're playing the game, if you ever decide to play it. So we got some standard enemies. Most of these just run into you. This game has pretty spiffy music. So we're gonna go in here. Usually if you hear this music, it means you're gonna get something. Usually. I'm called Zebu Leaf. Oh. So the elder in town is not named Zebu. Oh well. You're the one we have been waiting for. Try to make the windmill work. If you can do this, I will teach you some magic. Okay. So we can't get anything from him until after we fix the windmill. Which we can't do because we don't have the alarm flute, because I bought armor. Not a big deal. Unfortunately, we're not getting very much money, and this game requires quite a bit of grinding. Nothing up here. You can see that the windmill's not working. That's kind of weird. Thought I saw something strange. And we got this bridge here. Oops, sorry, I pressed my fast forward button. So yeah, this guy is asleep. Can't do anything with him. And there's nothing we can do here. So it looks like we're gonna be stuck grinding for a little bit. A little annoying, but you guys will get at least plenty fill of the combat. You do end up having to grind in some cases, not because, you know, you need money, but because you need level ups, because if you're too weak to damage, it is possible to become too weak to actually damage enemies. It also, the element that your sword is can sometimes decide if you can hurt certain enemies as well. So it's all stuff you kind of need to keep track of. So if you find yourself getting to the boss and you can't hurt him at all, especially at this point in the game when you only have one weapon, you probably need to go and grind levels, which is a little annoying, but it's just how it is sometimes. Oh, stupid slime guy. Now the fact this is called the Sword of the Wind, you could probably assume there's going to be multiple elements of swords, and you would be correct. And each of the swords kind of have their own little secondary effect that you can do for the on this world map. But we can't really do anything with that just yet. Well, at least these little goblin cat thingies have, they look like tiger people. But they give 2 gold and 1 experience, as compared to the slimes that only give 1 gold and 1 experience. It shouldn't take too long as I fight these guys. I would like to have a shield, but... Oh, just to see the difference, my defense is 3. The left number is your armor defense, and then you have a shield defense, which I think only blocks from the front. And, yeah. Pretty standard stuff. It is possible to become strong and have enough defense to where your enemies can't hurt you, though that usually requires a lot of leveling up. It's more the other way around, unfortunately. Yay, level increased. So our attack and defense went up. And we got more life. Okay. We got all 50 gold, which is enough to get an alarm flute. I'm not sure how well known this game is. I certainly knew about it, but figure, you know, it's always good to get a little nostalgia in. Besides, I kind of want to see if I can beat the game legit. I can now one-shot these guys. So yeah, level ups make a difference. I don't remember what the max level is. I don't think it was particularly high. You're almost better off charging up your attacks, simply because it's a lot safer, so you don't get hit. So we go down here. Attack button was activated it. Huh? What was that? Don't do that again. It's you. Please don't tell Zebu. Take this to start the windmill. Zebu says a strange ball is hidden in these caves. He says it can break rock walls. Okay. So now we have the windmill key, which we take over here. We no longer have the alarm flute. I don't think we'll ever need it again. Windmill begins to work, which apparently makes rock walls explode. Okay. Now, if you recall, Zebu said he'll teach me something, or give me something, if I, get the windmill working, which I do. Pretty much finding as much as I can, since I don't have any supplies yet. You've done well. I will now teach you the magic of refresh. Now refresh. I think it's the A button to cast refresh. Right now, what refresh is it's your heal spell. So I'll go ahead and try to show that off real quick. So yeah, the longer you hold it down, the more health you get back, but also the more MP you use up. As you can see, I used up 4 MP just to recover just that little bit. So yeah, it's a pretty expensive spell, but it is your heal spell. Because we can go into the Cave of Death, but I'll do that in a second. Alright. You guys got anything to say? And no, you don't have anything to say. You're not even here anymore. Alright. Don't remember how you saved the game. I really don't. Do I have to stay in the end? There's a way to save the game, but I don't remember how to do it. That worries me. And I just wasted 16 gold. Ah, there we go. You have to hit select to get into this menu, then press start to switch over to this. There you go, there's our save. It's got some weird controls, to say the least, but I mean, we're talking about Nintendo, so we only had like 4 buttons. That's including start and select. I'm pretty sure we're not ready to fight the boss yet. Just want to point that out. Pretty certain we can't fight the boss yet. One, I don't even have a shield. And I believe the cave that we're about to go into has palette swaps of enemies. Nope, new enemies. Two experience for these guys. Well, these guys are pretty easy. They're plentiful, so it might be worth grinding here. Pretty certain this place has poison enemies, which if I get poison in this game is evil. Like, it never stops. If you're poisoned, you need an antidote, and if you don't get an antidote, you're gonna die. So yeah, here's this rock wall here. Ah, these guys will poison you if they touch you. Don't melee them. Three experience. And they give 4 gold. Oh, money disappears, so you need to pick it up as soon as you can. But don't get yourself killed. Ah, rock guy. This guy actually throws projectiles. Port boots. Those will pretty much... I think those teleport you out of a dungeon? It's either that or they allow you to teleport back to town. I don't remember. Yay, we leveled. Ow. Despite the fact he drops a bigger coin, it's actually only worth 4. And they only give experience, they don't give money. You'll learn to hate these bats. They only give 1 experience. Ball of Wind. Okay. So, this is one of those power items. Now I can power up my sword to level 2, which allows me to fire an even bigger ball of wind. And it does more damage. Down here. Medical herb. That's a healing item. Whoa, careful. Ugh, don't want to get touched by those. Or else we're going to have to run all the way back to freaking town. Also, this bolt will actually shoot through walls. Pretty neat. Now, I'm not sure. Oh, I can't save here. I believe there are 2 rock walls we can take out. At least I thought there were 2. I thought there were 2. I guess they're not. Unless it was in here. Oh, we'll go check real quick. And then we can go shopping with what gold we have. Yeah, okay. I thought that we ran into 2 rock walls, but I guess I was wrong. No worries. Now, I'm not sure if I'm high enough level to fight the boss yet. We're actually practically at that point now. But we'll find out soon enough, I guess. But I think it's about time I go ahead and call this a video and just check my volume and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and go shopping. Alright. Now the Carapace shield. So now we actually have a shield. Which means if we go to here, we have 5 defense, 5 defense. And let's get ourselves an antidote. Just in case. Okay, I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this was Crystalis. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.